Peace. Think fast. In fact, this one I tried my best to put into words. This one of those old DMT type of downloads or realizations. But basically, I had like a little aha moment this morning about how telepathy works. And one of the things I thought of is like how I might send a thought about a certain subject to somebody, but they have to be vibrating on the same frequency, not only the same frequency level of that thought, but actually like within the subject matter of that thought in order to really catch it, quickly. And sometimes too, I realize like if you send a certain message to somebody, depending on the vibration of it, say for instance, if it may be, because any type of thought could be sent, even something that may be of a lower vibration in essence, as far as subject matter concerned, let's say. But if I'm sending out a certain message, say for instance on a lower vibration, and it's vice versa, whether I send out a lower vibration or high vibration. But say for instance, all right, I send out like a little thought about something like a human or in lower vibration, or kind of like so being over like looking at a female body, but in a way that's a little, too like objective. Like you're not looking at her for her full essence, but you're looking at just her body. So let's just say that, for example, you're looking at a female body in a somewhat lower vibrational manner, and so you send a telepathic thought to your partner to like to look or some of that nature. Your partner don't catch it, but then later on in the day, your partner might go into some lower vibrational thoughts or some of that nature, and he wondering why, like he catching a thought like almost like the message of, hey, turn around and look at that female type of vibe, and like, well, where that came from, and there's a message that was sent to him, but when it was sent to him, he was vibrating on a higher frequency. So that thought form wasn't able to reach him in essence, because he was vibrating on a different frequency from the vibration of that actual message. So as that message came, it's like it was a low vibrational message, and he was on a high vibration, so it couldn't even connect. But then when he dropped down, so too, I want to say that like the telepathic messages also await like almost like some voicemails, like like whenever the person is vibing on the vibration of the subject matter, then they'll be able to receive that message, because it'll be certain things that I could tell that if I sent out to somebody on a telepathic level, if they may not get it that same day, they'll get it the next few days, or vice versa. Like why I catch somebody else's telepathic messages, and I could tell like, all right, this this was probably sent to me earlier or something of that nature. But it's definitely that vibe to where the thoughts only connect when we're vibrating on that same exact frequency. That's why like if you and somebody, and I'm not promoting taking psychedelics, I'm just speaking of it, speaking on the subject. Like if you and somebody was to be on psychedelics, that's why the telepathy is so strong, because y'all vibrating on that same frequency. So those thoughts is coming through. But even on that, even say for instance though, even though the telepathy is strong while on psychedelics, if I'm thinking about something bad that happened to me when I was 10, and then my partner like in the vibe of like thinking about like being in the ethers and something beautiful, our little thought connection is gonna like separate, the little link gonna separate a little bit, and where I will still catch back on, like where they will catch where, so when they raise their vibration, they'll catch the things that I was thinking about when I was in my high vibrational state, and if I drop into those lower depths, I catch some of the things that they were dealing with, so it's like a vibration just like that, And I thought about, because I was trying to find words to this as well, but I thought about like how a thought about a particular subject is almost like a chat room. It's almost like a metaphysical chat room that's just there, and only in this chat room, only in this vibration of this chat room, we could, see these messages, But like, I'm thinking like say when you and a friend are thinking about the same subject, it creates a stronger telepathic link, is developed whenever you and somebody is thinking on the same subject. So you know how like, where those moments where you just know like, oh damn, I was just about to think that, or or it goes like where you actually, vice versa, where you send a thought to somebody and then they actually start speaking on it, like, oh yeah, it's and that, and it's like, damn, we was vibrating on the same exact wavelength on that subject, like if I'm vibrating on the subject of I don't know, I'm trying to think of something, collard greens. About cornbread, ain't nothing wrong with that. Shout out to Chris Rock with no sex in the champagne, right? But anyway, like if I'm thinking about collard greens and how good they are, and my brethren, for some reason, and this happens without, again, this is, by fate, in essence, of us being on the same subject matter, because it's not that person, like, because sometimes that could happen. Like if I'm thinking about collard greens and I've been thinking about it long enough, I end up provoking those thoughts within the person, around me, because they feeling what's in my thought field, which I'm gonna speak to that as well. Like if I'm thinking about collard greens, and I just start getting the thought of collard greens and like how good they are, and my brethren happen to be thinking about collard greens and how good they are, then our little thoughts gonna meet up, and we're gonna have like a little telepathic link, like, yeah, man, even to talking about like maybe we should get some collard greens and this and that, but the telepathic connection is strong, and I'm trying my best to put this in words. Matter of fact, just like telepathy, because I caught, in essence, y'all feeling like a little bit like I'm getting them, but and I don't want to lose y'all with the information, but which I'm, for the most part, is, I didn't go out. I put it into words pretty good in the last thing I explained. But again, just like telepathy, where I caught the thought of like, like y'all work with me. I'm trying to put this into words. It's pretty difficult, because these are all things too. We are beings. We are vibrations on a human experience. Our true way of expressing ourselves, it's not dealing with words. Like words and trying to talk is like the lowest form of expressing ourselves and talking. And matter of fact, dealing with telepathy, just like things being on a certain vibration, I'm trying to bring down and interpret a high vibration of information. This information is a high vibrational situation, so it's kind of hard to, difficult to bring it down into this lower vibration and express it. It's something of such a high vibration, so it becomes difficult to, break it down in a lower vibrational manner. Again, like how the vibrations have to match. Now, if I was sending this to you, like on a telepathic level, I would be able to send it. Matter of fact, I'd be able to send it to you in a little box of information where you just would get all of it at once, and just, you could feel it. Also dealing with telepathy, you could feel the information in essence as well, But also, telepathic messages are involuntary as well as voluntary. So you could purposely send a message to somebody, or involuntary, we could pick up on each other's thoughts just from passing in each other's auric field, because you have a mental aura, or aura that carries your thoughts. So if I go within, matter of fact, because I knew a sister who actually read people's thoughts in that manner, like just from walking in your Taurus field, and could pick up quickly like what you're dealing with, But we have the telepathic messages are involuntary, so somebody could get a message from me, and I didn't purposely say, hey, so and so, like I didn't send it out in that manner. I was just thinking, and then, and matter of fact, and not to say that it doesn't mean to like, well, I have to be thinking about that person for them to pick up on, like, whatever I'm thinking about, it'll be received to somebody else as a message, or just as a thought in general, And you could see it as like a telepathic message in essence, because they just picked up on something that I was thinking of. So it's kind of like sharing information on the thought level, but just like in an involuntary manner, you know. But just from again, just from being in someone's thought field, you know, you could pick up on, you know, what they dealing with in their mental body in essence, you know. But that's basically it, you know. How the telepathic messages, you know, we have to be vibrating. Either we have to be vibrating on the same level, on the physical level, or the actual thought of what we're sending have to be vibrating on the same frequency for the connection to be strong. Because when it's operating like that, you know, where both are strong, or say if both frequencies match up, where your frequency match up to the person you're talking to frequency, and the thoughts y'all, you know, are thinking about, or, you know, are trying to send, are on the same frequency, then it's strong. Like, you're basically able to have a rapport and, you know, converse on that level, you know. But whenever it's off, you know, then, you know, then there'll be like that voicemail type of situation I talked about, where, you know, well, if I send a high vibrational thought about, hey man, you shouldn't harm people, you know, you shouldn't talk about people, man, that's something that's bad. Like, I send that thought to somebody, you know, if they're in the vibration of, you know, talking about people in that moment, stuff like that, that message won't shoot straight through. But right when they get out of that mode and start to lighten up, they'll catch that vibe, like, hey, you know, Universal said, you know, you shouldn't talk about people like that. You know, it's like, oh, all right. You know, so that's the way the messages move. You know, whenever we're able to receive them, as above, so below, as far as like with vibrations and coming across people, you know, you don't come across nobody that's not vibrating on the same frequency as you. In essence, the people you come across, in most cases, are vibrations that are on the same frequency as you, or your subconscious thought forms that's going on within you, you know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, it's like a matchup of vibrational frequencies. But that's basically it, you know. And I had a video not too long ago where I spoke about telepathic messages, you know, and sending apologies for the lower vibrate, like, you know, like, say when I smoke herb, it can make the ego, like, egotistical lower vibrational thoughts just pop up. That's why I be having to watch myself with smoking herb, because that's messing with my subconscious programming to a certain extent, you know, because I'm so far along, I'm actually able to observe it and not be, you know, taken away by it. But again, these things will pop up. So if a thought form pops up, that's why I was talking about, like, sending an apology, where a negative thought pop up, it just pops up. And maybe, say for instance, like, being in my old egotistical self, I used to make jokes about people on a level, and it still wasn't like on the behind your back type of level, but it was like malicious, you know, like I would really be, you know, coming at that person. So when I'm, you know, smoke the herb sometimes, and it'll have that vibe. And to this some told me to add that, you know, when I'm saying smoking herb, it's from the actual, not the herb itself, but the actual smoke. And it's also dealing with how clean the herb is. If the herb may have like some pesticides, or it's not as organic, it'll be, you know, it'll bring me more into those lower vibrations, you know. Basically, I'm matching up with, you know, sending me to the vibration that it's on, you know. So the weed of a lower, dirty vibration, it'll have my thought form in a lower, dirty vibration, you know. But, you know, if that thought will pop up of, like, joking about somebody's shoes, like, instantly the thought of somebody's shoes and joking about it will pop up, and I didn't mean it, didn't try to think of it, it just like, bloop. And then that's sitting in my little bubble. And then the person whose shoes that thought form was, you know, talking about, may come across that little bubble of that thought, and like, damn, shoe, something telling me that Universal might be joking about my shoes in his head. Universal feels some kind of way about my shoes. But then they come across that, but I also feel like, you know, he didn't really mean it, because I backdoor and send an apology. Like, as soon as the thought form, like, Well, I'm sorry, that's my little lower nature, my little ego burping up, fighting, you know, disregard that message, you know. But it's definitely that whole vibration right there. But this is a think fast, you know. So peace, of course. Happy now. Now's the vibrate, y'all. Matter of fact, that's funny. That goes a long way, man. Now's the vibrate. Not too far in the future, not too far in the past. Right now. I remember when I was ready to scrap the old intro. And which I think about it too, though. Sometimes, though, it be times for like just get this information out. So like, hey, to hell with all that, you know, the intro and making sure you do it. You know, all your videos that basically have it in there. So sometimes it's cool just to get the information out. Because some information is be so hot on my brain, well, if I go into that intro just for a second, it'll throw off where I was headed with it, you know. So that's why some videos I don't even, you know, do it. It's like, oh, I gotta get this out quickly. But peace, y'all.